Hey everyone, welcome back to FX Studio 2, where we dive into the world of high-end pro audio, studio gear, and the stories behind the legends. Today we've got big news, but before we get started, don't forget to stick around for part 2 of today's video, where we give you a brief review of the new solid-state Logic Super 9000 channel strip. Okay, so first, one of the most iconic names in audio equalization is entering a new chapter. That's right, the legendary Pultec brand is now part of Wolf Audio. That's huge. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Wolf Audio, I actually did a brief review of the company in my latest Hidden Gems video series. So go check out that video if you haven't already. So let's unpack what happened, why it matters, and what it could mean for your studio setup. On September 24, 2025, Wolf Audio announced that it has acquired Pulse Techniques, the company behind the Pultec-style equalizers, and with it, the legacy of Pultec itself. The press release states, production will remain in Fort Collins, Colorado, with the same experienced staff building the gear to the uncompromising standards that engineers and producers around the world rely on. In other words, the gear you know and love stays in the same place, built by the same folks, only the ownership and support infrastructure just changed. This isn't just a brand change, it's a merging of two kinds of legacies. On one side, Pultec, whose equalizers are absolutely revered. On the other side, Wolf Audio, a newer powerhouse driven by analog design and modern control. So why should you, the studio owner and the gear lover, care about this acquisition? Here are 3 big reasons. 1. Legacy. The Pultec name isn't going away. The production stays in Colorado with the same team, so the authenticity stays intact. 2. Increased innovation potential. Wolf Audio has made its name by combining analog excellence with digital control and modern workflow features. With Pultec under its wing, we could see new versions, enhancements, and hybrid systems that build on the classic Pultec sound but add modern workflow features. 3. Greater support and scale. By being part of a larger company with more resources, the Pultec line could benefit from improved availability, newer variants, potentially lower cost of ownership, and better service. It signals stability for the users of this gear. A little history to bring context. Pultec's equalizers and the recreations from Pulse Techniques are among the most iconic tools in recording history, with their ability to shape tone in musical, legendary ways. Pulse Techniques revived this heritage in recent years, but now the owner Steve Jackson is retiring. Steve personally selected Paul Wolf of Wolf Audio as the right man to take over his brand and continue building upon it. Paul's reputation for design excellence and deep respect for audio history were cited as major reasons for the choice. So, what changes and what stays the same? Let's be clear about what's not changing and what might change. What stays the same? The production facility remains in Fort Collins, Colorado, same staff, building to the same standards. Also, the Pultec name and product line maintain their identity. The announcement says Pulse will continue to operate as a separate entity under Wolf. So, the legacy sound and reputation of Pultec remain core. What might change or evolve? You may see expanded product lines, perhaps driven by Wolf's emphasis on modern analog and digital hybrid tools. There could be new variants of Pultec gear with modern workflow features. Next, the infrastructure as far as support, distribution, and global reach may be enhanced with Wolf's resources, and we may see new pricing strategies or bundles for studio users. So why now, and what does this signal? Why did this deal happen now? One reason, and this is the biggest part of the story, the pro audio gear market is evolving. Studios want classic sound, but also modern workflow, connectivity, and flexibility. A company like Wolf Audio is well positioned to bridge heritage and innovation. The gear companies are positioning for the future where analog meets digital control. Take the SSL Oracle as a perfect example. This is the future of audio gear, and Wolf Audio is well aware of it. Go back and check out my video about the SSL Oracle and the SSL UF8. This is exactly the picture I was trying to paint there. So what can you expect as someone who might own or be thinking about owning Pultec gear, or just care about studio gear in general? If you already own a Pultec, no immediate alarm bells. The manufacturing stays the same, the support and legacy are intact. If you're in the market for a Pultec or similar equalizer, this could be a good time. The brand commitment just got reinforced, which means potentially better availability or even new models. If you're building a studio workflow, you might start seeing hybrid gear, classic analog plus modern controls coming out of Wolf Audio with Pultec. This could influence how you plan your setup or budget future gear. Here are a few things to keep your eyes on in 2026. It's going to be a very interesting year. New product announcements from Wolf Audio that involve the Pultec brand or heritage design. Firmware feature updates or hybrid modules that blur the lines between analog and digital. How exciting is that? For studio owners, possible price shifts, up or down, or special bundle deals. Forums, reviews, and user impressions, because whenever a brand moves under new ownership, the community watches closely. So there you have it. The acquisition of Pultec by Wolf Audio is more than just business as usual. It signals a new era. Heritage meets innovation, analog meets digital, legacy meets future. If you're passionate about studio gear, this one's worth tracking. Now stay tuned for part 2 of this video, the Solid State Logic Super 9000 channel strip.
Well folks, Solid State Logic has done it again, and this time they've taken my studio to a whole new level.
Solid State Logic just introduced the 9000 channel strip. I'll discuss their super analog technology and what it brings to your studio sound.
Super analog technology is a proprietary analog audio circuit design used in SSL's high-end consoles and processing gear.
It offers ultra-wide audio bandwidth and a broad frequency range, ensuring nothing is lost or added from input to output. This technology provides extremely low distortion and noise, as the audio path is designed to remain flat, matching the input with minimal coloring.
You also get incredible clarity and definition, allowing you to hear every detail, like being in an open music hall listening to an acoustic guitar.
The sound becomes bigger and livelier, with added punch and an extended low end, enhancing the overall listening experience. According to Solid State Logic, the emphasis is on fidelity and transparency, so you hear more of what was captured, rather than the gear imparting too much character. The 9000 features your choice of either the super analog preamp or their variable harmonic distortion preamp, similar to their duality console released in 2006. On the back of the module, you'll find send and return inserts and an external sidechain input for flexible routing. The 9000 is currently available for pre-order at most gear retailers, priced at about $2,000.